What's up, my good peoples? Welcome to the Be Transformed podcast, where we're talking about ideas that stimulate wholesome thinking unto identity, purpose, vision, and action. I am James Anderson, and with me is Logan Eaton and Kyle Enterman, my good bros. What's cracking?
What's crack-a-lackling, James?
Man, you're weird.
Yeah.
The old Kyle weird stuff.
How you doing?
Hi there.
Hi there.
Hi. Hi
me.
there. Hi.
It's me, Kyle, guys.
Hi there.
What was that saying that catchphrase for the cereal? Something about crackling?
Ezekiel?
Krispies?
No, I think it was like for oat bran or something.
Oprah?
Oh, crackling. It was something with
A little
crackle.
crackle while you pour milk on it?
Yeah, maybe it was like
What'd you call it? It's Rice Krispies.
I thought it
Cinnamon
Yeah.
Toast Crunch or something.
Whoa.
When you pour it on,
It's like you toasted it. When you
yeah,
pour
it
the
makes
milk
like
on.
makes like a toast
Like a
popping
sizzle.
out of it. Makes like a sound like toast popping out of the toaster when you pour the milk on.
Did you ever eat those the cookie crisps?
Yeah, those are good.
What were those?
They were little chocolate chip cookies.
Like literally little cookies.
Oh, it was a cereal? I think we did eat those when I was a kid. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they were good.
I like the Count Chocula.
Oh,
Chocula.
Choclia. I like
Chocolatito.
your
Frosted
Choclia.
Flakes are really good, too.
Frosted
Yeah.
Flakes.
Frosted Flakes are great.
Mm.
A lot of cereals back in the day, you know? Before,
Yeah.
when you were kids,
more,
and you could just
the
eat
more
the
sugar, the
crap
better.
out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honeycombs. Those kind of tore up the
Yeah,
roof of your
you
mouth.
remember, I used to eat a lot of sugar, yeah.
Yeah. It's good for
Honeycombs,
you.
yeah.
I just eat bowls and bowls of it. Like, I
Did you
remember
ever eat
just
like
eating.
spoonfuls of it?
You mean like as opposed to like forkfuls?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd eat
Or a
spoonfuls.
straw.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Did you
I
guys
use
ever,
a spoon. Are you
No,
talking like like a
spoons,
spoon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
really. Wow.
Yeah. Did you ever use a spoon?
You didn't use? Did you just pour the
sounds-
milk in
it
the
sounds like
you
in the
didn't use
bag and then drink it?
No, I mean just eating it straight out of the.
Out of the
The
bag?
box?
Yeah.
Oh
With a
no,
little-
no!
no?
I'd have a bowl and
Mm.
put milk on it.
You didn't like milk?
Milk's good. Yeah, milk's good.
Yeah.
I could use some cereal.
Right about
I
now.
feel like I want to go to the store after this and just buy honeycomb or something, or maybe Captain Crunch.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Peanut butter Captain Crunch. That junk is good.
That was
That is
that was the only
really
kind I didn't like
That
the
is
fruit
really
flavored
good.
ones.
I didn't like that either.
I like the peanut butter. ones.
Yeah.
Anything peanut butter cereal. It's
That
good.
Yeah,
one
let the
tears
milk
up your
kind of.
mouth,
You
yeah.
gotta let the milk kind of like saturate it for a little bit. And then
You
it'll
like the soggy
soften
cereal?
The little ball,
I don't know if I like
the
that.
little
I
balls
don't
up
I
a
think I
little
liked
bit.
it crunchy.
Did you like it real crunchy? And then when you had one of the couple little balls that would, get away and they'd sit there for a while, and then you get like 3 of them in your spoon, and they were kind of soft.
Would they like hide under the milk and then just pop up?
yeah. Well, they'd be floating around, but every time you scoop, they'd move around.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotta get some cereal after this.
Did you guys ever make Muddy Buddies with Chex cereal? So they
Muddy
out here
Buddies?
they call it puppy chow, but
I know.
California we don't eat dog food, right? It's called
Mhm.
Muddy Buddies.
We call
What-
other things Muddy Buddies, but we're not those.
Oh
though.
my gosh! But yeah, I mean you covered it with like melted chocolate, peanut butter, and then
Wow.
powdered sugar.
And what?
And
Cereal
but so
did
you would just eat it dry, but then I would like just eat it as a cereal. 'Cause it was delicious.
They're really good, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
What cereal did you use?
it's Chex, and then one of the
Oh,
recipes on the
okay.
backs of the box is
Oh,
the Muddy
alright.
Buddies.
Did you ever get any race cars or anything in the cereal?
Whoa, yeah, the little like they were always at the very bottom.
Mm.
That was a problem.
Yeah. It's Cracker Jack baseball cards. Well, that's Cracker Jacks, yeah.
You could pour milk on that.
Yeah. Trying to think of some of those prizes. Yeah, you probably could pour milk on that, huh?
Probably wouldn't be good, but you could.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, race cars. I remember
That's
race
a good
cars.
idea. Yeah, Cracker Jack cereal. Coming towards you, Cracker
Oh.
Jack cereal.
Coming to a spoon near you.
Coming towards a spoon near you.
Ba-boom. Yeah.
Kyle's Cereal Shack.
Yeah.
What if you had a truck and it was cereal?
A cereal.
Like
a
you had all these
mobile
like cereal dispensers, and you come and you
That'd
like
be
you
awesome.
get a
Mhm.
bowl and you
Yeah,
That'd
truck,
be great.
just have like a thing of milk.
truck
Beep,
of
beep.
cereal.
That could be big.
Kyle's cereal. Yeah.
That could be big. Right next to the melt cheese truck.
Yeah, just rolling around different dispensers with the crank things.
You could even just pull that behind your bike.
Mhm.
Little trailer.
Yeah.
The old
I could
breakfast
see it.
cereal.
Yeah.
People would come out of their dorms and be like, "Oh, the cereal guy's here."
Yeah.
These are
We bring the cereal to you.
Just don't wreck. Just don't crash your bike.
kids like, oh man, I ran out of my cookie crisp. But good thing the cereal guy's here.
Good thing
guys
Kyle's here.
At 7:30 in the morning.
Hey, it's Kyle.
Yeah. Hey guys, how are you?
Kyle's cereal bike.
It's me on the cereal bike.
Hi guys.
Hi guys, it's me, Kyle. On the cereal bike.
The cereal.
Come to
bike.
save the day.
You're rolling towards the bus stop, and moms are just gathering their kids. Like, come on, kids.
Yeah, yeah. With a little top hat on.
You have
Cereal do you want?
you have a little horn on there, a little siren on your bike. Let people know you're coming.
Beep beep.
Wee.
That'd be cool.
The cereal siren.
Cereal.
Oh, somebody ordered Captain Crunch.
Oh,
Man,
another happy customer.
that's some good cereal right there.
Cereal industry. It's a good one.
A lot of options out
I'd
there.
invest.
There are.
Would you?
Did you?
No.
Did you guys ever eat? What was it called? It was like the bran flakes. It had raisins, but they was like covered in like something, this brown stuff.
Mm.
It was like a covered raisin nut bran,
Okay.
and the raisins were covered in something. That was delicious.
You didn't know what the brown stuff was? Was chocolate?
I did
or
not know what the brown stuff was, but it was whatever it was. It was
It
good.
was good.
It was
A
good.
little slime?
Hey,
A lot of good stuff.
brown
Raisin
never
slime?
hurt you. Yeah, it was real,
Wow.
real good.
Real good. I don't know. There's a lot of good cereals.
It really is.
Yeah. Then you go down
I
the
didn't
cereal aisle nowadays. It's smorgasbord of cereal.
Did you guys ever go through the phase of eating like Special K with strawberries
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
back in the Plotty days?
Yeah.
Yeah, did
Yeah,
you ever eat that?
I
one?
don't. Yeah, I think a little. Remember the dried strawberries?
Yeah.
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 Those were those were good.
Those
Those,
were
were
good.
bad.
Those are
I remember an Oreo cereal.
What?
Yeah.
I remember
cut,
an Oreo
cut the
cereal.
roof of your mouth.
Is that where you just put Oreos in a bowl? and pour-
That's an extremely
the
good
guy would
idea.
do that.
That's an extremely good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one being one of my favorites when I was younger.
Oreos are good.
Oreos are amazing
Yeah.
with milk.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
You
is
gotta put them in there, let them saturate for a little bit.
those
Oh,
are
wow.
good to saturate. Yeah.
Well, looks like we gotta go to the store
Wolf those bad boys down.
Yeah, it's
right
amazing.
before a jog.
I could just
Right
I
before
could
you fall
pound like the
asleep.
whole thing of Oreos.
Mhm.
It's
Wow.
not my fault. They just don't put that many Oreos in there. You know what I'm saying? It seems like you ate
Should
a
be a
lot, but
one
it's like
session
they
type of bag.
just-
Yeah. It is a
Exactly.
one session type.
Right.
3 rows, right?
Right.
Is it 3 rows?
Yeah. I mean, if
3
they
rows
wanted
of
more
20?
servings,
Yeah.
they would have put more rows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double stuffed Oreos.
Yeah. Or mega.
Right.
And then you take them apart and you put two together. You do that.
Yeah.
Put two megas together for a super doopies.
Wow.
Yeah. I think
Hey.
you should just, I guess they make little snacks, but it's like, I thought at one time, you know how you can buy like marshmallow fluff? It's like liquid marshmallow.
Yeah.
I thought at one time they made Oreo fluff or whatever. Like it was just the white stuff in a jar.
Hmm.
And I would buy that.
Really?
Oh, easy.
Oh,
Oh my
wow.
gosh.
You just
I
eat
put
it
that on
straight?
my sandwiches. I put that
Wow.
on some steak. I put that.
The marshmallow Oreo fluff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I put that all over the place. Yeah, it's like kind of
Wow.
like a goat cheese medallion, but different.
Oh. Kind of like a anchovy, like one of those anchovy containers.
Kippers.
With the, yeah.
Those
With the
kipper-
lid that-
It's like a
the lid
jar.
that peels back.
I
Oh,
wish.
it's a
no,
jar,
it's like a
okay.
glass jar.
Oh, so it
kind of
wasn't
like a something like jelly comes
wasn't
in.
like
if
a
you will.
vacuum packed anchovy
No,
package. No, okay.
just like a brick.
Just a jar.
white stuff. It's like that
Yeah.
dehydrated ice cream. You guys
Mm.
ever had some of that?
No, is it good?
Yeah, it's
Actually,
like
I have, yeah.
astronauts ice
Yeah.
cream. Take all the water out, moisture out of it.
Is it warm or is it
It's
room temperature?
It's like crispy.
Oh.
Do you have to have it cold?
It doesn't matter. They took all the moisture, so it's like
Okay.
it's like a backpacker's food.
Mm.
Oh. I guess I haven't had that.
Mm.
And you buy it in like a
It's because you've never been to space.
Yeah.
Well, I've been to space camp, NASA camp.
Yeah. You
They
put
didn't.
space in
What?
your head.
No, you would have had some of that if you actually.
Yeah, I
did.
was lying. I didn't go to NASA camp.
You went to mud camp.
Wasn't smart enough.
That's a story for another time. The day that Logan tried to go into
The
space camp.
day I applied for space
Hey
camp.
guys, I'm here. As Kyle rides by in his serial bike. Logan, come on.
So when do we get to get in the rocket?
Yeah. Man, can you
Yeah,
imagine?
it wasn't. Can I imagine shooting off in a
Shooting up
rocket
into space like that?
in a flaming cylinder?
I could imagine throwing up in my helmet. Could you imagine
Oh.
that?
Well, not until now.
No.
Not until now, but
Nice. Yeah.
that'd be interesting.
That would be gross.
Mhm.
That'd be kind of hilarious, though.
You're
You're
God, it's gotta be.
gross and hilarious. at the
counting
same time.
down 5, 4. Just puke your guts out.
It's more like when you're getting the G-force on. You know what I'm saying?
I can't
Eyes go in the
imagine.
back of your head.
Yeah.
Your
I can't
brain
imagine
oozes
how-
out your ears.
I don't think you're throwing up. I think everything's forced down at that point, right?
Oh.
Due to
That's
So
that
you-
mud pie pants.
Yeah,
I
you
got you.
might you might have
got-
mud pants. You'll be packing
you
some
better
pants.
take a laxative before you go. A couple days before.
Pack an extra pair of underwear because you'll be packing your own on the way up.
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah, that was the only thing I learned in space camp until they kicked me out.
Bag your pants. Got another one.
Kicked you out of space camp.
Shouldn't have ate all that
yeah.
Captain Crunch before I got here. Yeah.
That cereal does sound good though. Just good old
Some
fashioned
Oreo.
bowls. Yeah.
I seriously might buy some
No.
this weekend.
Aldi.
Yeah.
Speaking of Aldi, Aldi's got a lovely
Do they have a display?
sugar section.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they got a Lucky Charms, real good.
Oh, those are good.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh! Wow!
Yeah,
But they're not called that, are they? In
No.
Aldi, Aldi has to
No.
give them another name
sure.
so they don't
Like
tick off
like
Kroger.
stars and
Yeah.
mellows or
Stars and shapes or something.
Cursed Charms or something like that.
Yeah.
Bad luck charms.
Oh, there you go. I was like, what's the opposite of bad luck?
Yeah. Or sugar
Or
flakes
just
something.
plain charms,
or just
frosted flakes.
yeah,
You know,
frosted kippers.
sweet.
sugar wheat shapes.
Yeah.
with
sweet
marshmallows.
flakes, yeah. Sugary snacks.
Sugary snack. I think that's what they're called.
Sugar. Or and then smack. Remember smacks? What is
Smack
Oh, yeah, I
Daddy?
remember
smack?
those.
Those little brown.
Yeah.
They're like little
sugar
shells
snacks?
almost. Sugar
snaps. Snaps or smacks? I thought they were smacks.
With the frog guy on front.
Yeah.
Those
That
were
was pretty good,
That
yeah.
was good.
Yeah.
Those were called something different at Aldi though. They were called
Yeah.
like sugar
But like
rolled
Sugar
oats
beets
or something.
Makes
And
it
they're-
sound healthier.
The mascot was like a tarantula or something. Aldi didn't do a good job advertising.
tarantula. Yeah.
I don't know, something like that.
Nothing says welcome to breakfast time.
You get tarantula
Happy
crawling
tarantula.
out of your milk.
Eight-legged freak.
Man,
Yeah.
You got a captain, you got a bunny, you got a little Lucky Charm guy,
Oh yeah, the leprechaun.
the
Oh,
parrot.
What's
Count
that?
Chocolitis.
Count Chocolitis.
Count Chocolitis.
Bet you don't want to get that chocolitis.
Yeah. Was there any other mascots?
Well,
Flintstones,
Flintstones, yeah.
the Pebbles.
What was the honeycomb guy? Wasn't he like a retired?
Badger?
It's like- okay. I thought he was like a retired astronaut,
Was there?
and he had a beehive or something. I don't know. Maybe not.
The honeycomb guy? I think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a beehive?
No,
or
it was like a. It
it
was like a
could've-
bear. It was like
was like
a
a bear?
young, weird-looking bear.
Oh,
I think.
really?
Maybe.
Yeah,
like
I
honey?
might be right. Yeah.
It's a
What's the-
stigma.
Yeah. The honey stigma.
Yeah, yeah.
They're always throwing a bear with honey.
Yeah.
Something
That's
sweet. Get his sweet
stereotypical.
tooth going.
Get the old sweetie going.
Did you guys ever used to eat donuts? Donuts?
Yeah. Multiples.
We used to get those all the time
Yesterday.
at the store when we were
Mm.
younger. But
Yeah, my kids love them.
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
I like
Stimmels.
the cream-filled ones.
Like the cream filled?
What kind of cream?
Yeah, just like the Meyer Bakery ones. Those are all right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know the Oreo cream-filled ones.
What?
I don't think that's.
It's not.
It tastes
Oreo
like
cream?
it tastes
I
like
almost think
that.
you're
It tastes.
lying now.
It tastes like a whipped sugar cream.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? The cream,
Like the white
filled.
cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
not the
I like
custard.
I like
filled.
the yeah I like the custard.
Oh, I don't know if I like those, but
Mm.
the just the white
or the
sugary
Bavarian.
icing.
I don't know what the difference is, but
the icing
yellowish.
filling.
Yeah.
That's
What
what
about
I-
the like
Schlong
lemon or raspberry filling?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I like those. Yeah.
The powdered sugies that get all
You
over
like-
the
you
place.
guys like those?
Oh yeah.
Like punch
Really?
keys.
Oh yeah. What?
Punch keys. Patch keys. Punch
What's
keys.
a punch keys?
It's like a donut.
Inside of a donut.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's like a yeah.
And it's got like what, sour cream in the middle?
No, different flavors.
That's gross.
Different raspberry, blueberry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, strawberry, all sorts of
Is it like
different.
a German thing?
I think it might be kind of related to Germany. Yeah.
I've heard people talk about it, but I've
Punchki.
never ate
Yeah.
one.
What's a birchki with you? Punchki? Yeah, I do like a good donut or three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a fruit donut though. I can't
like
do the
that.
fruit donuts.
It's good for you.
Not the strawberry or the jelly.
No, more like chocolate and sprinkles
Okay. Cool.
and cream.
Nice. Very simple. Pretty simple.
Did you say sprinkles?
Maybe, I don't know.
I like sprinkles.
could
I
do
like the
some.
cake kind of donut opposed to like the more fluffy donut. I
Yeah.
like the more dense cake.
Oh yeah,
sprinkles.
I like those. Yeah, I
That's
eat
my
those all the
jam.
time.
Yeah.
Man, is there a Krispy Kreme in
Yeah.
In Ohio.
Bowling Green?
Well, not a Krispy Kreme. No, there's not. No.
What is there for donuts besides the Meyer Bakery
Stimmels.
and the Aldi?
Stimulus.
The Aldi
In my opinion,
There's that Tim.
that's
Tim
the
Hortons.
only. Yeah, Timmy's.
and Stimlets. Stimmers? What did you say?
Grounds. Yeah, Timmy Boys. Tim Hortons.
Grounds for Thought has
Grounds for Thought has
donuts.
some donuts.
Mhm.
Oh
But
gosh, I
nobody,
thought they just had board games.
nobody beats Stimmels in town.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
I'll have to go check it out.
and they got pie.
Mm.
You got to order it ahead of time. I think.
Okay.
I've had some. It was delicious.
Really?
Yeah, that was the pie I wanted on Pie Day, but I have to wait till next year.
Dang, did you already get an
They
order
were
in?
Yeah,
They were probably packed, huh?
probably. Good old Pie
Probably
Day.
packed.
We talked about
Oh,
pie
Pie
last
Day.
time.
I miss you, Pie Day. Yeah, I'm still working that pie off, by the way.
I think I'm still working off Thanksgiving.
Mm.
Oh,
And it's been like 6 months.
it's bad when they start accumulating like year upon year.
yeah.
The pounds?
Yeah. Well, you used to, maybe you gain a little bit, it'd come right off.
Oh, yeah.
There'd be a time where you really didn't gain anything, and then you'd gain a little, but then it'd come off, and then it's just like it stops coming off.
Everything just stops.
Oh wow, I really do need to move. Yeah.
Nice little punch key, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
donut within a donut.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the Ponchki
Just
diet.
doesn't go away. The little flabby punch key on it.
Yeah. What about? Do you like pancakes?
Yeah, with peanut butter.
What's your favorite pancake topping? Oh, you said peanut
Well,
butter.
I think peanut butter's good on them.
Yeah.
Probably
Crunchy
strawberries
or
something.
or smooth?
Smooth. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It doesn't matter. so
doesn't
much,
matter.
but, Yeah.
Oh.
I like the natural peanut butter. That stuff's good.
Where it's like it's separated from the grease to
Just-
the
Actually, if
sludge.
you go to the machine and get it ground, it's actually
Oh,
pretty good.
man.
It doesn't have
What?
the same
Are we talking
sweetness.
about coffee or peanut butter?
Peanut butter, yeah.
You can go to a machine.
Not in all stores, but some, like probably Myers doesn't have it, but some
Like at
natural
the space store?
natural food stores, yeah.
yeah. Is that
At
where
the
they-
natural food stores, what's that?
Like they just have
Who's
fresh.
a natural food store around here?
GMO type. There's some up in Toledo.
Ah, I see.
Mm.
Fresh time.
Fresh time. Just mix it up. Just shove it in there and mix it.
Yeah, it's just the peanuts and they ground it all up. It just goes through
A machine
probably
does?
Burr grinder, yeah.
Or a
Burr grinder goes right into a. Yeah.
kind of like
That sounds like an experience.
to make your own peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the Keebler elves
The
making their own
giblets?
cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like that.
Yeah. I don't know. You
Oh
never,
man,
you never
remember
know.
that commercial.
The
Yeah.
peanut butter.
Conveyor belt with the little cookies that go by.
Yeah.
Chocolate would go on it. Remember that?
Yep.
Gosh, what a stereotype.
I know. Elves and cookies.
Elves don't even like cookies. Anyways. Yeah, you guys hungry yet?
I'm hungry.
Okay.
Yeah, I could do pancakes, donuts, cereal, and pie right now.
That sounds like a good plate.
Hungry
Yeah.
for some purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
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 Oh, you're gonna get it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, tonight,
What are we
today,
rolling with tonight,
whenever it is.
James?
Yeah, we're talking about the reality that we were made for earth. Yeah, and just this concept that we weren't made for heaven. Because if we get into this concept of we're made for heaven in the sense that, like, okay, nothing on earth really matters, and we're just gonna kind of sit around and wait for Jesus to return, then we can kind of start holding some incorrect perspectives, and we can kind of disconnect from the world. We can disconnect from the society and the community. And yeah, you know, it's possible to hold some incorrect views, and, like, you know, if we think, you know, if we think growing in wealth is evil, then we won't participate in it. If we think, you know, starting a business and making products and thinking about how can we, you know, impact people's lives or make an improvement on something that's already created. If we don't think that's worth our time, then we won't participate in it. You know, if we think government is evil and, you know, it's not of God, then you stay out of it. You don't participate. But the problem is, if we disconnect ourselves from the community because we think it holds no value, then we lose any ability to have impact or influence, which means then that the kingdom of God then has there's no influence, and therefore we have no say in what happens, and other people are making the decisions without, you know, kingdom concepts or realities or this and that. And so, yeah, so the premise for tonight is just that we were made for earth on purpose, and it's on earth that we've been commissioned and missioned. And so by getting involved in the community and bringing things of value, this is how we're actually going to make an impact. This is how we're going to interact, create relationships, actually be able to realize some problems that people have, or find people, you know, in despair and hopelessness, or just kind of living in malfunction. And it's through these relationships that you're able to then offer function. You're able to bring healing and restoration. You're able to actually display the kingdom of God to people, right? Jesus said it's not the well who need a doctor, it's the sick. So it's like our mission is actually inside the world, but there's this reality where we actually have to get engaged into the community, into the business, into these different spheres of society to actually create some kind of impact. What do you guys think about that?
So you're saying, like,
You should start a cereal shop.
yeah. So you're saying, you know, like participating in society for the common good of building something great on the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Yeah.
Type of stuff.
100% kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're saying get out there and do it.
Yeah.
You got to get out there and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Try to do it. You know, I think that's I try to do that mindset daily. You know, from when I get up to kind of set my mindset, like, what can I do today to make those connections or talk to the people, and kind of like, God, all right, kind of I ask for some direction and then go out there and see what happens, because you don't know who you're going to connect with, but you got to go out there and try it
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
You know, so I know that for me, yeah, sometimes it's hard, but getting out there and putting myself out there is what I try to focus on. Like, I don't want to just sit stagnant and not try to, do anything or participate. And not every day is going to be this amazing event, but I know if I get out there and try that, I have more opportunities to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And that helps with that motivation. We talked about purpose and vision and waking up with, okay, so even when you feel distracted towards your vision or your purpose, you can say, okay, well, even though I'm going through a funk where things aren't going exactly how I thought they were, but I still want to get out there and just keep going no matter what.
Yeah.
Keep pushing, even though it seems like maybe that vision isn't as strong or that purpose isn't as, vibrant in your head.
Yeah.
So that's where my thoughts are on it, especially the last. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you.
What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, the thing that always was one of the first things that we talked about, I think, was when we were friends. We're starting
to be friends.
we were starting to get to know each other, be friends way
Space
back.
Camp.
Yeah. Remember when we walked in the church that one time?
Yeah.
It's like
Old man.
slow mo, and the music
Yeah.
started playing.
Yeah, I made eye contact.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real though.
And I awkwardly waved.
Yeah.
Hi.
But no, one of the first things we talked about was like that we're supposed to be the ones in, I don't know, just the ones leading other people. So whether it's in the education system or the government or business or healthcare even or whatever it is, we're supposed to be leading. Like it just makes sense. Like you said, it just makes sense that we would be in those areas. And I think some people can, I don't know, when they're trying to think about their gifts or their purpose or their vision, they just limit themselves, I think, sometimes. And it's like, I don't know, the things that you're good at, the things you want to do, you can use those things to get into different places or to help bring the kingdom or change an industry or do something, affect people, whether it's in the school or in business or even in the healthcare system, whatever it is. It's just like, I think you just limit yourself. We tend to limit ourselves sometimes when our mindset is so limited, because we think our gifts have to be something where we're helping somewhere in the church with, like, on Sundays. Like what are your gifts? Well, okay, this is how you can be used on a Sunday morning or something like that. When you're determining what your purpose is or what your vision is for your life, I think sometimes the tendency is to limit it to Sunday morning. I think that's what you're talking about as we were getting started there. But that's just kind of what was in my head too. Was like, it's okay to have a vision that affects these things that you're talking about, impacts these things that you're talking about. Government, education, healthcare.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Space.
And time. And the continuum. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, like, the thing with the church is like, yeah, dude, serve there. Absolutely. And then go outside and do something for reals. Right. Jesus talks about, it's like, it's not the healthy who need a doctor. It's the sick. It's the people out in the world. Yeah, I mean, and talking about, like, just kind of getting constrained, thinking that, like, our gifts are limited. And it's like, okay, well, I'm only establishing the kingdom if I'm, sharing, like, the salvation message. But the reality is, man, is that Jesus went around and preached the kingdom, which was slightly different than the message of salvation, right? Like, the kingdom was like, he went like this. He would say, hey, well, the kingdom of heaven is like. It's like a man who found this treasure in a field. And when he found it, he buried it, went away, sold all he had, and in his joy, bought that field. He says, again, the kingdom of heaven, it's like this. It's like a merchant who's looking for, like, this pearl of great value. And when he finally found it, he sold everything he had and he bought it. He said, the kingdom of heaven is like a farmer who sows these seeds. And he's telling these stories. Well, it was with the disciples that he gave the interpretation of the story. But with the people, he just told these stories, right? And he's talking about the kingdom, of like what it is, what it's like. It's like a master who gathers up his servants. Then the master leaves, and the servants are left in charge. And then when the master comes back after a real long time, he settles accounts. It's like, there's the kingdom of heaven is like. It's this message of the kingdom. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in this, like, okay, well, if I'm not talking about how Jesus died for your sins and this and that, then it's like, then we're not doing our job. And I just think Jesus said it like this. He says, okay, as you go, heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse the lepers, and cast out the demons. Then tell them that the kingdom of heaven has come upon them, right? He says, first demonstrate what the kingdom of heaven actually is. Then you can tell them about it, right? It's like we're called to help set people free. And it's like, if we can get into the world and actually solve a couple problems and display the goodness of God, that's like, then freaking, like, this is how you actually bring transformation, where it's not just about words, right? It's about power. And so, yeah. So this concept, right, of that we're made for earth and not for heaven, which is interesting. Right, so you look at Genesis. In Genesis, God created the world on purpose, and he created man, and he gave man the authority, the dominion over earth, with the explicit, like, the purpose to cause the whole earth to be conformed, right, to the pattern of the Garden of Eden. So God made man out of spirit, which is what he was, and then put him in a dirt body so that he could function on earth, right? So we're citizens of the kingdom of heaven, which is invisible, but we're ambassadors in the visible, and we represent the invisible. So anyways, in the Garden of Eden, right, God makes the world, puts man in charge. All right, bam. Like, that was the purpose for creating the world and mankind. It was for man to work on earth. So then Adam and Eve, right, kind of throw a little bit of wrench in the pot of soup, and they lose connection with God. God's still around, but they lost access to the tree of life. The authority that they had, they handed over, to Satan, and who then, after some time passed by, Jesus comes and restores, right? So Jesus comes as a man and restores the kingdom of heaven, and mankind now has authority, right? Jesus says, all authority in heaven and earth has been given to me, therefore go. So in 2 Corinthians 5, Paul talks about we have this message of reconciliation. He's like, we are Christ's ambassadors, right? As if God was making his very appeal through us, right? That an ambassador is somebody who's handpicked by the king, who's an expert in all things pertaining to the kingdom, right? He gets sent to a foreign country to represent his country. So when you become born again, you become a few things, but one thing you become is a citizen of the kingdom. You become adopted into sonship, and you become an ambassador, right? So we get reconnected with God, where the Holy Spirit, the very Spirit of God, comes inside of us, and we get reconnected to the source of life. But look, if it was God's purpose for us to leave earth, like, it would have happened already, right? Like, when you become born again, you would just leave earth. But Jesus said, go and make disciples of nations. Our purpose is here on earth, which requires a different mode of thinking. So if we can kind of look at the fact that we become a citizen of heaven, and we are reconnected with God. But then at the very same time, we become ambassadors. And an ambassador is somebody who goes to a foreign country, but represents the government from the country that he came from. So we become the representatives of the kingdom of heaven on earth, right? You talked about the prayer, right? Where Jesus said, says, when you pray like this, it says, our Father who is in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven, right? So the mandate is on earth just like it is in heaven. The will of God that's accomplished on earth, let it be just like that. That's done in heaven, let it be done like that on earth. That's our task. And so it's like, you think about the concept of like what does it look like to actually make disciples of all nations? Well, that looks like you actually having influence in the world. That means like you have to be able to like you have to be able to relate and communicate with people like on different spheres, right? There's a different kind of language. Like so there's this like the seven, they talk about like the seven spheres of society, or like the seven mountains, if you will. The seven mountains, I think that this came from like Lauren Cunningham, who's the leader of YWAM, and then I think the guy whoever's in charge of Campus Crusade. I think they both had a dream. They had this vision of these seven mountains, and then they called each other up. It's like, hey, I want to meet and talk about this dream, and they both had the exact same dream. And so they're talking about these seven mountains of kind of influence in society. And so, if I can barely read it, one of them, it was like religion, family, education, government, media, arts and entertainment, and business. Well, each one of those spheres has a certain kind of language, right? You talk a certain way, you kind of dress a certain way, you know, for government, for business, in like a family sphere, in a religious sphere, and like entertainment. Like there's just certain kind of languages. There's certain kind of language with people who are lawyers who know a lot about the law, right? You need to be able to, you know, in that sphere, having knowledge about laws and, you know, how a courtroom works and just attorneys and all these different things, having knowledge of what that stuff is allows you to be able to kind of relate and connect in conversations with these people. You know, in science, having knowledge of science and this and that, right? Like whatever kind of sphere you lean towards, right? Like your ability to relate and connect is massively important. Mm-hmm. It's the only way we're gonna have any kind of influence. Because if we just sit on the outside and throw stones and be like, hey man, this is evil, science is bad, or this is bad, and whatever, it's like it's kind of why people hate certain kinds of people. Like it's just like you're not gonna have any kind of influence by just pissing people off.
Sure.
Right? I mean, if you walk into a place and you say, hey, like, I get it, but if you walk, hey, you're going to hell and you're full of sin, and somebody punches you in the face, like, I don't think you're actually able to call that persecution because I'd punch you in the face. Right? Like, that's not the message of the kingdom. The message of the kingdom is like, hey, man, if you're in some malfunction, let me help you. Let me show you, like, how to function, right? Like, if they're in, like, a downward spiral of suck, it's like, oh, man, like, you can recognize that. You said, dude, what if like, we hung out? And like I could help you change the way you think. What would happen? He went from a place of malfunction in a small area of his life and experienced function. That causes people to taste and see who God actually is. Dude, that's freaking legit. That's the stuff where people get a taste and like, what was that? Like, how do I get more of that? That you just created an opportunity to actually then share something that makes more sense because it was demonstrated first. Right? It's just, yeah. Yeah, what do you guys think about all that?
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, what does it mean to heal the sick, cast out demons, and something with leopards? And I think that answered it. That answered the question I was going to ask. It was like just that. Like
Do it.
Going into a place or having influence and just going into places, relating to people, talking to people.
Yeah, but I mean, praying for somebody who's sick is a real thing.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know if there's too many leopards around, but you know.
But I mean, could you? I mean, I don't know. Could you cast out a demon just by showing kindness, grace to somebody, talking to somebody that maybe doesn't have anybody to talk to, or helping somebody function that's in a, like you said, a place of malfunction?
I think you might be able to get a demon to manifest.
I mean, I just thinking like, I think we just. Again, we limit so much of ourselves to just like, oh, if we're going to cast out a demon, we have to lay our hands on somebody and pray a certain prayer or something. When really, I mean, it could look like anything. It could look like just bringing somebody from malfunction to function.
Sure.
Yeah, but just like demonstrating the kingdom
right.
is what you're talking
right.
about. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Challenging those faulty beliefs that person might have, or
just demonstrating like this is like you can't argue with my life because this is what you can see it. you're tasting it. You can't
Right,
argue with
right.
my
You can't
story
argue
because
with-
this is what actually
Yeah.
happened, like the facts of what actually happened.
Sure.
And somebody, and not like you're pressing that onto somebody or anything, but like you want somebody to function. Like you have a desire for somebody to function.
Yeah.
That could totally change somebody. Where it's like you bring them out of that those demons or whatever, with that stress or that anxiety or those bad thoughts, those negativity, whatever it is that's got a hold of them. You could bring them out of them by showing them how to actually function. Not saying that you're better than them or trying to show them that you're better than them, but like, I can help you function. Could that?
Yeah.
When you ask about like how do you make disciples of all nations, I think it's easy just to think, well, you go out and whoever you talk to, tell them about Jesus, right? Just whoever you meet, just tell them about about Christ.
Yeah.
But I think it can just go deeper. I think it's we shouldn't limit ourselves, right? About what that looks like. I mean, you could just have a normal conversation with somebody, but you're operating in a state of function, connected and aligned with God.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually helping somebody. And then, like you said, as that conversation or that relationship grows or something, you literally could be casting out the demons of that person and showing them how to function, showing them how to operate, what it's like to be aligned with God and having that taste good to them. So I don't know. Those were my thoughts as you were talking there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just the reality of like actual relationships,
Sure.
actually caring about
Yeah.
another person, seeing a hurt and a pain,
Mm-hmm.
and being there to help solve that. I mean, it's like the people of the kingdom, right? We're not created to be people who are just constantly stuck and drowning in problems.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're people who are created to bring about solutions, and so we should be able to go into a situation that's a freaking hot mess, and this is where we thrive.
Yeah, and if we can bring the solution and then we tell people how we operate, like they can't argue with, because we brought the solution. Like nobody can really argue that. Like when you explain to somebody how you found the solution or how you operate, how you function, like people can't argue with that when you're the one bringing the solution. Somebody else is bringing the solution, but lives in a state of I don't know, spiritual immaturity. Will justify, I guess, that solution based on what they believe, which is false thinking. But somebody aligned with God finds a solution. Somebody can't argue with that because they I don't know where I'm going anymore.
Sure.
I lost it. But somebody that's aligned with God has to, when we bring a solution somewhere, people can't argue that because we justify that solution by how we function to get that solution. People can't argue that. It's the
demonstration. Truth. Right. It's power that's then backed with words, but the words are backed with power.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Sorry,
Absolutely.
that was confusing. That was confusing to me.
That was amazing.
It's all good.
Got
It's
us
all good.
back to cereal. Yeah.
Right, cereal.
Yeah.
We can bring them delicious cereal.
Serious.
Maybe they've been eating, what are those, not the best Cheerios or something like that. We can show
Lower
them.
your heart's cholesterol.
Right.
Yeah.
But getting into those areas that you were talking about, what'd you say? That?
Yeah. Religion, family,
Yeah.
education, government, media, arts and entertainment,
Mhm.
business,
And like we were talking about earlier,
cereal,
you can bring this with you wherever you go.
the kingdom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that kingdom mindset and
Yeah.
your persona and your interactions with people.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
I think a lot of people are under the mindset of, like we've talked about, it's okay, here I am at my job and I work here and I make a paycheck and my paycheck is for, well, what's your money, what's the money for, well, to help, I don't know, my kids or to invest or something like that. And the bigger picture there's not a bigger picture than that. And sometimes I think people might thrive off a bigger picture,
yeah. Yeah. Sure. There is a reality of just kind of existing and maybe you participate in things, but it's more just because that's what you do, but it's not necessarily you're not necessarily interacting for
Right.
the purpose of the kingdom. It's more just kind of you're just kind of going through the
Yeah,
motions. Kind of.
sure.
So there's a difference, but the reality is, right, like we need to be in the community. And so last week I like to go mountain biking. I got a bike and I took it in the shop because the hub was broken on it, so you could spin the chain but the tire wouldn't spin. That's no good. So anyways, I took it in and ended up there's a few other things that had to happen, and it was almost as much as the bike cost like 11 years ago. So it's like, it just makes more sense to put the money into a new bike. So anyways, so here I am in the market for a new bike. So I look at a bike they have at their shop, and then I go up to this other shop who has some different bike brands. Well, anyways, I meet this guy who's up there, right? And we just start talking, and so I'm thinking, I have been thinking just in general, right? Like I need to find out a way to get into the community. I need to find out where some people are in the world where I can somehow come join what they're doing to then build relationships and have some kind of impact, right? So anyway, so I asked him, I was like, you guys got like a bike club or whatever? We're talking about different trails and stuff that are around, and I was, trying to figure out, if they go, we can go, build relationships, whatever. Well, he starts telling me about this this organization he has with youth development and stuff, and he just starts talking about all these different things that they're doing in the community. And so they essentially, like, they use extreme sports, like skateboarding, BMX, mountain bike, wakeboarding, these various sports. They use these things to hang out with youth, as well as train them in the skills of the sport, as well as just like kind of life lessons kind of concept. And like they're involved with this program called STEM, which is something in schools. It's something like science, technology, something in engineering and mathematics. Well, anyway, so like they build ramps, which has to do with engineering plus mathematics. They do technology. They do like video and photos and stuff. And so whatever. So here they have these interests, and they bring it to the kids for the explicit purpose to kind of have influence and help, develop life skills and whatnot. All right. Well, so they'll go into schools and do assemblies, and they'll do tricks and this and that. Well, anyways, this allows them to interact and connect and communicate, like with their audience, right? With the youth. So they've become a solution to a problem, because there's people who will reach out to these guys and say, hey, we have a message that we want to deliver to the youth, but they won't listen to us if we present it. But if you guys come out, do your thing and share it, they'll listen to it. So these guys are sought after because they've become a solution to a problem. But they became a solution to a problem by engaging in like fun things that people actually are drawn to, that then promotes health and fun activity and a good community and life lessons. It's like they found a way, they found their niche, something they actually like to get into, and they've used it to make an impact. And I'm just like, I'm just listening to this guy, I tell him just a little bit about BT and how we want to kind of get into the world. But it's just like, here they actually brought something practical. And then it's in that practicalness that they bring some skills, and then they're able to kind of bring their message. And it's just like, this is like the thing. It's like you have to participate, because like I'm more the person that, like, if a big crowd is going one way, I go the other way, right? Like I like to show up when nobody's around, kind of concept. But it's like, I've also noticed that where it's nice to enjoy a park by yourself or trails when nobody's there. But I also find myself disconnected. Like, I'm like, how? Right. Like, cause we're, the three of us talk, and Kyle's, he does some yoga stuff, or coffee shops. He's just talking about he'll share stories of the people he's talking to. Logan's meeting people at the gym. And I'm like, Frank, what? I was like, because you guys actually participate in something outside in the world. It causes you the opportunity. And I mean, it takes intentional action to engage in conversation, whatever. But it's like, you put yourselves out in the world, which gives you the access to people.
Mm.
And I just, yeah. So to me, it's just like this idea of like the world is our market. These are the people we're after. And so we have to figure out how to participate in the world to make influence, to be able to rub shoulders. I mean, let's just take business, right? I like business. And so, you know, if what if you set out, right, with like a product or a service for the explicit purpose of like what if you found a need and you became like the solution to it? Well, what if you became so good at that solution that it's like you became really well known and maybe you made a lot of money? Well, because you became really well known, you started getting attention from different people who are also very successful, right? So now you're starting to rub elbows, right, with other like people of influence. Well, now you're have the opportunity to build relationships with these other people who are actually doing things in business and in the community, where then you can come and you can serve, you can participate, and you can bring influence, you can build relationships. It's like freaking, there's a massive necessity for us to be in the world, dealing with every sphere of society, like from poverty to riches. It doesn't matter. Like, we are called to be in the world. We're not called to hang out. You know, who lights the lamp and sticks it under a bowl, right? You're going to burn your house down. We're not created to just hang out in a building. A building is perfect because it draws people to it. That's great. So that's part of it. But that's not the only thing. It's like we need to be outside where the people are. We need to interact with people and bring them in, or just care about somebody. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. What do you guys think about any of that?
Well, that's pretty cool. That story you told about the bike stuff. So, yeah, and I don't know, since you're sharing about that, like, so I now I live above a coffee shop, and I go down there, and there's this woman, like at a coffee shop, you know, you see people all over the place. You know, people come in from different businesses, and there was this pastor who goes there. He's like younger guy, real pretty chill, and he does things with these inner city youth who like after school type of things, and they're like, I don't know, 13 to 18 years old. So he was talking to my friend in there and asked so you mentioned about the yoga stuff, and he said, do you know anyone who teaches yoga? And then she threw my name out there. So actually yesterday I don't know if I taught, but I showed up. It was at a church actually, and there was like 13 kids there. Nice. So like stuff like that, like it was like for 40 minutes or something like that, but they had fun, and you know, it was just I did it because there was an opportunity. And like, I don't know, I think you all have, so the opportunities present themselves, right? And you're like, okay, well, shoot, I could go home and like, whatever, chill and eat food and just relax, you know? Yeah. And that's good, you should, but there's also a part of me that's like, if I have the time to do it, like I want to do that because I feel, I don't know, there's like a drive that I almost like feel like I need to do that. Yeah. So anyway, so it was a good opportunity, and I think it helped. It helped. I saw some smiles on some kids' faces, and that's nice to show that. So, you know, talk about the yoga stuff that has paid off in ways, and just doing that, you know. But yeah, I'm like that too. Like I'd rather be like, and I think that a lot of people are like, man, like I'd rather be like left alone or do my own thing. But there's part where you just got to be like, all right, that's cool, do that, but participate. You got to throw yourself out there. Yeah. And I think knowledge of that, like what you said about that, like that's what God wants us to do, is to participate. I think that can be when you're feeling like, well, no, I don't need to, you know, that kind of gives you a little fuel to say, well, you know, you're bored, so, you know, go do something, go participate with people.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, because I mean, it's even caused me to be aware of some things that I wasn't aware of before. because I'm like, oh, you know, like I watched one of the, they had like a short video or something on Facebook, and it was like maybe this like bike palooza or something. I was like, oh man, there's people there. Like typically, like my mind is like, oh, there's people. I don't want to go, right? Like I'm more of like a couple people one-on-one kind of guy. But then I was like, but dude, that's the mentality that has me disconnected. And so it's like I'm seeing these things that I haven't seen before, or I didn't think were bad, and now not that they're bad, but it's like, all right, you have to intentionally start showing up to something. Like you have to find some common interest and freaking show the freak up, not just once, but like multiple times. Like initiate, you show up. So yeah, that's very interesting.
So even changing that, mindset, or that could be one step in the right direction, is forcing oneself when they recognize, like, oh, I don't want to, I don't want to do that. Well, just try it, show up and just, give it a shot to get around some more peeps.
Yeah.
For the sole purpose of, what we're talking about here.
Yeah. Make a connection.
Making connections. Who knows what will happen once you make the connections. Because once you make those connections, it's like, it's pretty free flowing. Like, I didn't have to do much for that thing yesterday. I just showed up. I was like, okay. I didn't have to organize much, and it was pretty easy going.
Yeah. Is that something you think you'd do again, or?
Yeah, I think it would be. Yeah.
Did they talk about?
No, but
was it just kind of like a one time?
It was that for the yoga, but I told him, I said, you need anything else, then whatever, yoga, or just to then shoot me a call.
Boom.
So,
shoot it to me. Shoot me your phone.
Yep.
Shoot it over. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think? Like even when you're at the gym, like, are people coming up to you? You come to them, or
they're like,
just
you're
like
a big guy.
You're like, dude,
you like to
get
work
off
out.
the bench.
Yeah.
Get out of the mirror space.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people are like, hey, you idiot, get out of here. No, I think over time, though, once I've gotten to know people, now I just see them regularly, and it's easier to talk to them. So it just took some time to get to know some people. But I think I miss the platform that I could have there. Sometimes I just want to get in there and just go and then be done and just go on about stuff. But yeah, I think I've made some good connections there. But I think sometimes I miss that, or I miss the platform that's there. But yeah, once you, like, at first, it's difficult to just go up and talk to somebody, but over time, those little conversations, or just those little times of saying hi to somebody, turn into conversations, and you get to know some people. I've met a really good friend there, and he actually turned out to have a lot of similar interests that I do, as far as lifting and movies. And just stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, you just over time. So sometimes it might feel like you're not doing anything to get anywhere with anybody, but over time, it's just, I guess, the more highs and the more conversations, then you just start to build. And then like you see people and you can just have a conversation with about anything. And I like making people laugh. I like just making like, if I can brighten the day up a little bit for you by making you laugh or something. Yeah,
absolutely.
Because I like to laugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think sometimes I miss that, though, the actual platform that's there to just, instead of worrying so much about the workout, just being conscious of, okay, this is a place where people are at. And let's talk to some people, see what's going on.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I might wrap it up with this closing thought. And the thought is like this. Maybe a couple thoughts. One, there's this book I was reading by Chris Valentin called Poverty, Riches, and Wealth. And in that, he talked in one section just about this concept of, like, instead of living your life for eternity, he's talking about living your life from eternity. Right? This concept that we are here right now on purpose. Right? We have in 2 Timothy, I think he says, Paul says, the spirit that God put inside of us is not one that makes us a slave to fear or to timidity, right? But it's a spirit that causes power, love, and self-discipline. That self-discipline is like a sound mind or self-control, like the ability to control oneself, which sometimes sounds funny because you think, okay, well, I got to surrender to Jesus. But see, God's not out to control you, right? He gave us free will on purpose so that we could operate. And so he gives us the ability to be in control of how we think, how we feel, and how we act. And this is for reals, right? This is what self-control is. So the Spirit he gave us gives us access to power, which we're talking about divine realities, right? Like miracles, demonstrations of healings, of casting out demons, of cleansing skin diseases, raising the dead. There's this I just forgot it, but there was something like this that Jesus was talking about in John 15. He was saying that he says, I have appointed you to go and bear fruit, and fruit that lasts. And then you'll ask the Father for anything in my name, and it'll be done for you. And I was just thinking about this concept. He's like, so all right, Jesus has appointed us, right? So we're talking about like being ambassadors, being appointed government officials, people of the kingdom, to establish the kingdom, to represent the unseen in the seen, to make the earth start to function like it functions in heaven. Because there's no sick people. There's no people running around with diseases. People aren't living in darkness. People aren't confused. They don't have identity crisis, worried out, fear. They know who God is and for reals. But he says, and you'll ask the Father in my name, right? And he'll give it to you. And I was just thinking, right? Like if you run into a person on the road, right? And they're hungry, like you don't need to pray and ask God for help to give you the ability to make a sandwich, right? Like you have the capabilities to make a sandwich, and you should, right? That's that part of the love, right? The Spirit gives us power, love, and self-discipline. So, right? That's a reality of love. All right. But so now you find somebody and one leg is shorter than the other, and they've got this jacked up back problem. Then you tap in to what you have access to as a citizen, the rights and the privileges, and what you're actually called to demonstrate. And it's at this point then that you tap into that power and display the splendor and the goodness of God. We're called on purpose. This is really important, because just as competent as you are to make a sandwich, you're to be that competent in displaying the power of God. This is for reals. So the last thought goes like this. It says, so God, who created all things, right? All things function because of him. Like inventions that people made, right? It's because they discovered something that already existed. People who made the radio, right? Who were able to transfer somehow sound from one spot to a next spot, pick it up with an antenna. They're tapping into these vibrations. Well, somebody discovered that, but it was already there because God created it. They're tapping into something that God already created. And what I'm saying is that the people of the kingdom of heaven should be the people who are bringing about, who are leading the world in education, in science, in technology, in government, in whatever. We should be the people leading the world. We come from God, who is the creator. And we are from his image and his likeness. My good peoples, we are so full of unlimited potentials and possibilities. I just freaking dare you to tap into it. My good peoples, until next time. Peace.
I gotta get some cereal.